This is the women's semifinals. Aisling Reilly.
Serve, Aisling Reilly. Good luck, ladies.
Serving
Zero
to
serve, zero.
Courtney Peixoto. 0 serve 0.
The first ever meeting, Dave, between these two ladies. Courtney starts with an air.
We do
from the
have
deep court with
linesmen.
her right hand.
1 serve, 0.
It's interesting, Dave. We've never seen a woman play with the kind of style of Aisling Reilly. She's very methodical, very precise. She's really the woman's Tony Healy. You see that great power there from Aisling. I think that'll be the difference in this match, Dave.
2 serve, 0.
The score is 2 serve 0.
Difficult to overcome all that power.
Down ball.
Aisling just barely skips that ball. I was in the court in warm-ups, Dave, and I
0-2.
watched Aisling flat roll 3 balls. Now, I know, Dave, you've never flat rolled one. She flat rolled 3 balls in about 45 seconds.
Actually, I have done it before, but it was during the serve.
Oh, okay.
On accident.
There's a miss hit from Aisling. Courtney losing in the finals last weekend, Dave, in the
1-2.
Plummer Family Bash.
Short ball.
Aisling on the heels of her USHA 4-wall national championship in June. Routed the field there in Austin. She's your #1 seed here at this event. There's a Courtney Peixoto special. That sort of dive that ends up somehow on your back with your feet facing the back wall. It's original.
It's a tumble, we like to call it.
We actually, Dave, will have the benefit of slow motion instant replays, and we'll be able to analyze those flops.
That was a miss hit right there from Aisling. The score here is 1 serves 2. First game.
1-2.
2 games to 21. Tiebreaker to 11.
Short ball.
Courtney does have a good serve down that right side there.
Second serve.
Aisling Reilly, you mentioned she's the current United States Handball Association 4-wall women's pro champion in Austin, Texas in June. Nobody in that draw scored more than 7 points in any game off of her.
You see Aisling keeping this rally alive with a couple really nice gets, and then the air from the backcourt. Now, Dave, we're sitting here with our list here of
2-2.
strengths and weaknesses. Certainly, Courtney has to be favored in the serve department should she get that power serve working.
Second.
I don't like this serve, though. Aisling's able to take this with her right hand off the back wall and really drive it. She hits a nice wrap there, Dave. Courtney leaves that ball up.
Referee letting him play through this.
Another issue, Dave, certainly has to be Courtney's conditioning. We've seen her wear down
2-2.
quite a bit in big matches. You have to think if she's able to maintain her endurance level throughout a match, she'd be right in the discussion. It just seems like just about halfway through the first game, you see her breathing through her mouth and
3-2.
really exhausted. Not sure why that is, but
Look at that shot right there from Aisling Reilly, right down the middle.
Beautiful back wall kill there from Aisling.
Score now is 4-2.
Aisling uses the fist so well, Dave, to run that ball down the side walls. Aisling goes for that short right wall crack there, comes up short. Here's the second serve. She serves that Z serve into Courtney's right hand, and here's a big mistake. We'll see if Courtney can capitalize. And that's one of those real awkward shots there, Dave, where we saw it a bunch of times yesterday. Just impossible to really take a swing when you're that close to the front wall. There's an ace, and I think that's a pretty smart timeout for Courtney. Courtney off to a pretty nice start there, playing even with Aisling in the first 4 points, but now we've seen Aisling race to a 5-point lead, leading 7-2. We will have the ability to show you a lot of replays here, Dave, today, and also some slow motion shots.
Coming up after this one, we'll have the women's upper or lower bracket semifinal match between Samantha England and Megan McKeelis.
Good friends. They went to school together, actually roommates at Lake Forest outside of Chicago.
That will take place at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the men's pro single semifinals between David Chapman and Sean Linning at 12:30 p.m., followed by Luis Moreno and Alan Garner at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then we'll get into the doubles.
The big difference, Dave, between the men's game and the women's game is that the timeouts in the women's game are actually 1 minute long. The men's timeouts are actually 4 to 6 minutes. Between games are 15 to 20. We've played for just about 9 minutes. We haven't seen one towel wiped down on the court, nor have we seen the entire staff here at Los Caballeros Village wiping down the side walls.
8-2. Side out.
There's a mistake from Aisling off the back wall.
2-8.
Courtney will have to find a way to score points, Dave. She can't rely on airs from Aisling Reilly, and that's a great start. A beautiful reverse down the left. That ball checked up just past the short line, died before it made its way into that back left corner. Another good serve. There's Courtney with that long swing. You wouldn't call Courtney's swing an Irish whip, Dave, but it's one of the longest swings in handball. She completely spreads out both arms.
You see that shot right there. That's one.
That's a beautiful kill with her right hand off the back wall.
4-8.
You see Courtney, she looks really focused right now, Dave. And you can see that timeout is
5-8.
has already proved dividends.
Nice shot right there from Aisling Reilly.
Courtney knows she had a good opportunity to extend that run. Left that ball up off the side wall, and Aisling has Courtney pinned on the left side wall and drives it down the right. Here's a great replay of this.
8-5.
You see Courtney here, Dave, had the opportunity to go down the left, and then Courtney just takes herself out of position there and actually drives that ball down the left. There's another beautiful kill there from the Irish woman.
9-5.
You know, Dave, you almost hear a different sound coming off the front wall when Aisling hits the ball compared to any of the other ladies. Just a little bit more power.
I was walking by the back part of that wall there, that wall that Aisling is standing by right now, which would be the front wall, but it was the back side of the court where the passageway is on the way in to do the live webcast this morning. And I can hear the ball being warmed up, and I go, oh, okay, I can tell there's a different sound here. And then all of a sudden I heard a big thug, and I go, well, maybe there's some other players that are in here using the hard ball. Maybe the women are using the hard ball. I walked in, it was as Aisling stepped in and started warming up. It's a complete different sound on the back side of that court.
So that 2-minute story could have been summed up in about 6 seconds?
Possibly. Trying to text message while I talk to you.
It's not easy to be on all your favorite social networking sites at once. You're certainly giving your best effort. Here we have our first towel timeout. Aisling in complete control right now. It's 11-5. Courtney put everything she had into throwing that towel up to the referee.
11 serves 5.
Used her legs in both hands. Courtney off of her back foot there. Not a good looking swing. If we can get a replay of that, you can see why she missed that ball. She leaned back, opened up her shoulders,
12 serves 5.
and nearly whiffed that ball. You just see, Dave, every shot Aisling hits has this tremendous purpose. Courtney will have to get herself into a thinking woman's game, if you will.
5-12.
to be competitive in this match.
5 serves 12.
Just returning the ball, Davis, is not enough against Ashley.
12-5. Short.
You see how close Aisling hits that ball to her body with that Irish whip, Dave.
Second.
We're used to seeing players extend their swings out. That Irish whip is almost right on top of your body while making contact. And Courtney with poor footwork there.
13-5.
Score is 13 serves 5 in the four-wall nationals in June in Austin, Texas. Her opponents, we're talking about Aisling Reilly, her opponents average 4 points per game. 8 points per match, and there's going to be another timeout call here from Courtney Peixoto. Nobody scored more than 7 points in any one of her rounds of handball. And it shows you just how dominant she is. And we were talking to Nadi Alvarado Sr. We asked him, have you seen Aisling Reilly play? And he said, no, but I looked at the scores at the Nationals, and she must be really good. He said, there's one thing that I don't want to do, and that is I do not want to see her in an alley somewhere because I think she'd beat me up. But she's an amazing handball player, a great person, and has a ton of friends back home. But one of the great things about her is she's really focused on the sport of handball. There they are. There are the Peixotes. That's Margie Peixoto and Father Jim.
I love to watch Courtney play. They drove her down here, Dave, from Watsonville, California.
It's just a great family. There's Nadi Alvarado Jr. watching this match.
Nadi losing yesterday to Sean Lenning. He will be participating, Dave, in the 5th place playoff. He'll play Tommy Little today.
Oh, I thought he said he wasn't going to play, but he is.
Received word that he will play.
Oh, nice.
So it will be a full 4-person field for that event.
Aisling has such great control.
Misses the ceiling there.
Referee lets him play through, as he should. If this was the doubles last night, it would have been whatever Eddie Chapa wanted.
I actually made a resolution last night, Dave, before I went to sleep, that I wouldn't talk about the refereeing.
I thought you wanted it.
There it is.
Didn't hear anything.
15-5.
I did not make that same resolution.
Nice return there from Courtney. Punches that ball into the back right corner and forces the air from Aisling.
5-15.
We're going to go ahead and take a slow-mo look at this serve of Courtney Peixoto, Dave. It's a unique motion. It's almost a straight arm swing. We'll get to analyze that, Dave, after this rally. And we're going to see Courtney a little bit frustrated with herself here. Runs herself into that back wall. And let's take a look at this serve.
15-5.
See Courtney brings that arm way up over her shoulder. The arm's pretty much completely stiff, and then comes through the ball with a little bit of
16-5
of whip on it with the wrist at the end.
Well, if you want to see a serve that an opponent's arm is stiff, you should see Aisling Reilly serve hers. And hopefully we'll be able to see that one day.
That one day could be coming up very soon.
17-5.
Score is 17 serves 5.
Short ball. Second. Side out.
Wow.
A double fault there from Aisling. She's serving the majority of her serves into Courtney's right hand. A little bit surprising.
Short. Second.
That actually was not you and I kissing, Dave. That was you and your wife. It is your anniversary, so want to wish you a happy anniversary.
A happy one. 6 serves 17. There's that long backstroke from Courtney Peixoto. She has Aisling right where she wants her, and she makes a shot.
There, Courtney. You watch Courtney follow that ball all the way back. She anticipated that return coming in low, and you'll
7-17.
Watch how she's
6-serve-17. There's that long backstroke from Courtney
Peixoto.
She has Aisling right where she wants her, and she makes a shot.
Fires that ball right back down the left wall. That's great handball.
I believe the score is 7-17. Courtney is now tied the most points that were scored ever off of Aisling Reilly here in America.
Actually,
in the pro division.
Aisling lost at the World Championships last year to Fiona Shannon. That was in the
by an
United
American.
States. Fiona Shannon is not American.
I know, the most points scored by an American.
Oh.
I worded it just enough.
By an American in America.
In America, in the pro division, knowing that you would say something about the juniors or the collegiates.
Okay.
Under the lights before 10 a.m. this side of Chicago.
That's why we call you DTF, Dave Too Far Vincent.
There's that strange slide there from Courtney Peixoto. Ends up on her back with her feet facing the back wall. And we might see a little replay of the actual slide.
Do not copy this at home, what we're about to see
Watch
here.
the slide here. This is something.
There she goes.
And the wall stopped it from happening. But
there's that.
That's sort of a break dance. I mean, she spun around on her backside. She had a couple more spins in her, Dave, if that side wall hadn't stopped her. Courtney's got a unique style. Unique swings. Graceful dives. She's shown flashes, Dave, that she can play with the national champion.
Here's a replay here. That left hand.
Courtney hitting off of her back foot, facing the front wall there, unable to generate any power from that position.
And let's watch
and
this.
As a result, gives the big setup and a great effort there, and there's the break dance.
Looks like she tweaked her right shoulder as she fell there. That shoulder has had a lot of problems.
Both she and her brother struggling with shoulder ailments.
Courtney's going to give it to her. Referee did not see it slide, but it's very hard to see it slide from up there. Courtney said she did see it, and already these courts are wet. It's unfortunate because that's a left side wall where there really is no, there's no weather over there. There's just another court on that other side. Most of the slides take place on the right wall.
I didn't think that was a slide. I'm surprised that Aisling giving that call, and she takes advantage of a good break. Perfect ceiling shot. You know, Dave, players are actually aiming for that back corner so that ball comes straight out on the sidewall. It's all about geometry. You see Aisling playing that perfectly. Almost like shooting pool, Dave. Understanding the angles, where you're standing in relation to where you need to hit the ceiling to run the ball down the walls.
That was a nice get right there from Aisling. Look where she put that ball.
Excellent point. You see Courtney covering a lot of ground there. She was side to side 3 times in this rally. You see her go all the way over the right side wall here.
Hit the ceiling
to
run the ball
all the way back over to the left side wall.
That was a nice get right there from Aisling. Look where she put.
Difficult, Dave, to cover that much ground and still make great retrieves.
Score is 18-8 here.
Courtney with sort of a no-look, head pointed towards the ceiling kill, fist kill.
8-18.
Nice ceiling shot there from Courtney. Aisling will take that ball with her right and punches it right back down that left side wall. Here's an air, and that's something we haven't seen much of, Dave, but Aisling steps in and takes that ball out of the air from 23 feet and rolls it in the right corner. You thought she'd let that make it to the back wall, and let's get a look at this shot here. She sets it up with a perfect ceiling shot down this left wall. Courtney just barely misses the ceiling. Aisling comes in there and pinches that right corner. Tremendous shot.
Let me just explain something here. You know, you see a lot of players like Courtney. She took that angle to the right, and she had to come back and kind of tripped up a little bit on Aisling's feet. Referee didn't call it, but I have seen some that would call that a hinder, and I always hate seeing that. You know, when they call that a contact or hinder, when the opponent makes a bad position move and then tries to break through the screen. What do you feel about those?
I feel like you don't know what you're looking at.
No, what I'm talking about.
I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying I sometimes see referees call that.
That would have never been called a hinder. But I do know what you mean.
No, what I'm telling you is some referees have called it hinders, and I hate seeing that. My point is, I'm not saying it is a hinder, Dave. Dave, over here.
You don't need to touch me.
Okay. Listen. I'm not saying I feel it's a hinder.
Have called it hinders.
There goes Courtney.
And
she's down. She's down again. She took the standing 8 count and didn't make it back up.
Looks like she just took a hit from Rodney Harrison. I guess what I'm trying to tell you, Dave, is
you're still touching me, and I wish you wouldn't.
There are times when the opponent puts themselves into a bad position, and they try to get to the ball. They run through their opponent, and the referee will call a hinder. And you go, are you watching the same match that we're watching?
Well, if you hadn't been listening, I took a vow to not talk about the refereeing, so therefore I would be unable to comment.
Okay. I'm just talking about refs in general.
But if we're talking about it from the player's perspective, when the player runs into their opponent to create the contact, to create the illusion of a hinder, yes, I do understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, because of bad positioning.
Sure.
I think it takes a smart ref to recognize that. Here it is, 20 serves 8.
I might have commented on that call had I not taken my vow, but I took one. Prohibiting me.
There should be an appeal here.
Appeal, I called it short.
I thought it was good.
Both agreed.
It's interesting there, Dave. Had that been overturned, would that have been an ace for the game? Courtney hanging tough right now.
And there it is.
That'll do it for the first game.
Ashleen Reilly wins game number 1, 21-8. We will have game number 2 of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball coming up right around the corner. We're at the Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. For Jeff Kastner, Chris Garrad, and David Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay right here at niftytv.com and weplayhandball.com. More handball coverage coming up. And we are back live from Los Caballeros Sports Village, Fountain Valley, California, for game number 2 between Aisling Reilly and Courtney Peixoto. It was Aisling winning the first game, 21-8.
I'd like to see Courtney try and get herself a little bit more behind the ball, Dave, and really drive all of her momentum into the shot. You see right there, Dave, she hits it. Aisling actually looked like she picked that ball up, caught a double bounce on herself. Courtney's a little bit flat-footed, just stepping with one foot, Dave. I'd like to see her back up sideways 2 or 3 steps and move into the ball. Aishling's too great a player to end rallies from a flat-footed position. Nice defensive left-handed backwall shot from Courtney. And this is the game Aisling wants to play, but she misses the ceiling.
Replay.
Courtney had a nice opportunity there, unable to capitalize. You saw Courtney talking to her coach, Dave, in between games. Jim Peixoto, her dad. Not sure, Dave, what advice Jim had for her, but she definitely has a renewed energy here in this second game. Aisling goes for the Irish whip and comes up short. That ball well behind her, misjudging that ball off the back wall. And now Courtney, much like her brother, has that sort of bounce, Dave, before the serve. That's a good sign for the Peixotos when you see that. You see Courtney thinking that nearly hit the ceiling, didn't matter. Aisling rolls that ball into the right corner. Dave, we see some sort of device on Aisling's right shoulder. I've never seen that before. You mentioned that she hurt that right shoulder at the World Championships a year ago in Portland.
She told me it was a strain that just has not healed. Not a tear, but more of like a tendonitis of the shoulder. Or some kind of itis I can't pronounce.
This amazing technical work, Dave, is being done by the guys in our truck, Jeff Kastner, and we brought in another top pro in the field, Dave, from Vancouver, Washington, Chris Garrard. He's providing you with all these great replays and up-close action shots. I know you'd be enjoying it, Dave, if you spent a minute or 2 watching the match rather than checking your Facebook.
I actually called the match just by the sound. Is Courtney okay over there?
I've never seen Aisling actually sweating.
She doesn't need to. Computers don't sweat.
Here's the Irish talking about how they never wipe the floor. They actually play time matches over there, Dave, occasionally, where you play whoever scores the most points in a certain amount of time. And the Irish don't sweat, so there's
2-2.
The score here is 2-2, game number 2. Aisling Reilly wins the first one, 21-8.
That's the 3rd skip from Aisling Reilly here in this second game.
Don't forget, she's getting used to this ball again, not make an excuse for her, although I just did.
I thought that Aisling actually played with the white ace in Ireland.
It's actually a different ball, completely different.
Okay. Well, in that case, Courtney also adjusting to a different ball. She played with the red ball last weekend. Generally plays with the hard ball, the hard blue ball. So it's both ladies adjusting. It may not look different on camera, Dave, but believe me, it plays considerably different. This ball is quite a bit lighter, comes off the sidewalls a lot faster, and it's squirrely, whatever that means. sort of one of those words that you know what it means, it's just hard to explain it.
I know what it means.
Nice right corner kill there from Aisling.
3-3.
Takes that ball from shoulder height and drives it into the corner. And Aisling, nice natural on that ball, and Courtney picks it up. Read it well. Courtney overturns on that left fist. That draws a nice applause from the crowd and forces the air from Aisling. We'll get a replay of that from the truck. Courtney actually facing the back wall. That ball is behind her. She flips it into the back wall on that left fist. Here, we'll see it here. Courtney drives that ball down the right, puts herself in a bad spot, and look at that awareness there, Dave.
Nice shot.
Take that ball into the back wall.
That draws a nice applause
there. She thought she won the point.
Forces the air from.
She was walking to the service box.
Very athletic get from Courtney Peixoto there.
There's just a beautiful kill there from Aisling. Just drills that ball 3 inches high off the left side of the front wall.
3-3.
Aisling keeps Courtney buried in that left corner. You won't find many handball players, Dave, that can win a match consistently playing balls from that back left corner. And that's exactly what Aisling does. Not a good serve there from Aisling. But look at that great control. Courtney overhitting that fist, but Aisling with a complete hand air here. And Dave, you're seeing a little bit of a chink in Aisling's armor here. She's being pushed here a little bit. She feels the pressure from Courtney. And she's made a number of mistakes here early in the second game. You saw the difference there, Dave, in that first game when she built that lead and really cruised, made very few unforced errors. Now it's a tight second game here. Aisling with the lead, but you have the feeling this game could really go either way.
Short ball. I call it short.
That was a short ball call from Nelson Quintero, although it was appealed by Aisling Reilly, not overturned though. You have to remember that Courtney Peixoto.
Nice dig there from Courtney.
It was a child prodigy just like Aisling Reilly. Both started at a very young age.
Tremendous corner kill there from Aisling. One of the best shots you'll see of the weekend in any of the 58 divisions that we have here.
5 serves 3. There's that power serve from Aisling.
Courtney does well to return that ball, pushes Ashley back behind the restraining line, and now takes control of the rally.
Little contact there, not called. Actually now called.
Courtney actually asking Ashley if she wanted that call. It's really surprising.
5 serves 3.
Not everybody's like you.
Short.
That ball was short.
I don't think that was a compliment. I'll take it as one, though. Every time we have any kind of disagreement, Dave, my phone blows up.
We actually,
interestingly, though, Dave, people don't agree with either of us somehow.
I don't know how that works. I mean, I take this side, you take that side. That ball skid? No.
Courtney just missed playing that ball.
Very rarely do you see these top pro women players misplaying a ball.
That's true.
Oh, my phone's ringing.
You hear Courtney yelling at herself there.
Nice shot right there from Courtney Peixoto.
And Courtney needed that shot, Dave. Ashley had run off consecutive points, looked to be on her way to one of those long extended scoring streaks, and Courtney takes her out of the box with a great right corner kill. And Courtney puts just enough of a wrinkle on that ball. Ashley there for the left-handed re-kill, but that ball hops away from her.
4-6.
Now Courtney going with that overhand 2-all serve. You hear Courtney telling herself, take that off the back wall.
6-4.
Very difficult to short hop the ball, Dave, from 25 feet. There's a nice 2-all pass Sets up a left corner kill. Great power there from Aisling, realizing that Courtney completely off balance, scurrying to come back into the play and just drilled that ball right at her feet.
7-4.
And you'll see this right here, Dave. Watch this awareness here from Aisling. Courtney moving to her left, puts that ball just behind her. Didn't have to be straight down the right wall there, Dave. Just anywhere behind her.
The problem with that one that you're trying to make it go straight down, sometimes the ball will pop out and catch that right wall and check up. Having it a little bit more safe toward down the middle, successful in that sense with Aisling Reilly. You're watching game number 2. It was Aisling Reilly winning game 1, 21-8, as we take a close-up of Courtney Peixoto here. Courtney losing that first game, putting on a little better show here in game number 2 at the Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. My name is Dave Vincent. My best friend is my dog, but my in the webcast booth is Dave Fink, the pro analyst, color commentator for this match and those other matches that you heard previously here at the complex in Fountain Valley, California. The Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball is a tournament that is in honor of the greatest handball player of our time. That is Nate Alvarado Sr. with his 11 championships, 11-time United States Handball Association four-wall master, who is courtside. He's back running the tournament desk. I saw him flipping hamburgers yesterday outside with the barbecue. He's everywhere. He's wiping down the floors. He is the tournament host. He's a gracious individual, fun to talk to, always has a smile on his face. Nate Alvarado Sr. Of course, this is also in honor of Simple Green, who has been around for 35 years. Simple Green all-purpose cleaner and degreaser, biodegradable, non-toxic, and concentrated. The original green cleaner for 35 years, and this tournament is named after them. Their support of handball over the last 25 years. The Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball.
Great shot there from Aisling. That inside-out right-handed kill. Puts herself up against that left side wall. Drives the ball down the right.
Short. Second.
Courtney gives Aisling a big back wall setup, and now Aisling completely in her groove. Flat killing 3 consecutive shots, Dave. Not a good sign for
10-4.
Peixoto fans. Courtney shoots that ball right in front of Aisling. She had the pass there. Didn't go for it. And Aisling with a nice left-handed natural. That ball runs away from Courtney. Courtney looked like she was just taking a nap after that shot. You'll see. I don't know if you'd call this a dive, Dave, or just a nap time. You'll see Courtney just sort of, and down she goes.
We can actually make a.
We will be releasing a video highlight reel of
it's
Courtney
called
Peixoto flops.
It's called Courtney Gone Mild.
And Courtney tried to throw that towel up there with one hand, and that's why you see her use both.
Gets a round of applause from the crowd.
11-4.
You just get the feeling, Dave, that you have to play so perfect against Aisling to hang in the game. Courtney with a good break there. She's trying to punch that ball down the left.
4 serves 11.
Hit that ball on the bottom of her fist and rolled it out.
Short.
You see, Dave, when Courtney gets just a little bit tired, she can't get that first serve over the line. Ends up just wasting energy. Aisling, a great left punch re-kill. Looked like her hero, Tony Healy, there, Dave. We saw him execute that shot at the last U.S. Open in 2008. Rode that shot all the way to the championship.
Let's get a glove change.
We'll have a 2-minute glove change here.
That one was spotted by the referee, which is nice to see. Nelson's looking at the gloves of these women players. He's in form this morning. You see also that the crowds are starting to roll in. Early match here in the Pacific time zone. 9 a.m. start time for the women's
semifinals. A lot of people, Dave, actually just staying at home and catching this first match from the comfort of their home, and you'll see them filling in and filling up these bleachers, Dave, as the day progresses. A lot of handball scheduled for today. We have 5 matches following this match that will air live on the webcast, including the great one, Dave Chapman.
Look at this right here. That's Margie Peixoto trying to see if she can open up her fortune cookie there. That's Nadi Alvarado Jr., who's getting ready for his 5th place match as he watches in at a match between Margie's daughter and Ashleen Reilly. 2-minute glove change. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Simple Green, we brought it up earlier, is the all-purpose cleaner, biodegradable, non-toxic, and concentrated, custom diluted for use all over your home, whether you're inside or outside, in the garage or the backyard. Save time, save money with Simple Green. Go green with that environmentally friendly cleaning supply that they have. They're also online at simplegreen.com or your local favorite retailer. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Dave Fink. If you're watching the live webcast and you are not a member of the WPH, please consider purchasing your all-access pass. We are not receiving any funds for this live webcast. This is something that our organization raised money for internally to come out here to provide you with a feed for, so you can watch from the comfort of your home. Please consider joining us at WPHpass.com. That's WPHpass, P-A-S-S.com. And you're talking about some of the crowds not being down here. We've seen this with live webcasts before. Seattle, the WAC Classic's a good example. We always pipe the feed in so people can watch on their television sets right in the hotel rooms. We hear hundreds of people come up to us and say, well, we're just watching at home, you know, not coming down and watching the show courts. We have to try to find some way of monitoring that. But certainly there are viewers, just not necessarily in the seats. We even have them scattered throughout the facility in the cabanas watching. And the sports bar out front in the lounges. They don't. They said, you know what?
Told me, Dave, that they'd rather watch on their computer so they could listen to you. Huh. That was a lie. I admit that.
Well, thank you for admitting that you lied about it, although I don't think it is much of a lie.
The big difference in this match, Dave, is Courtney unable to take Ashling out of the front court, and Ashley, with her power, easily able to move Courtney out of that front court, drive her into the corners. Let's listen in here for the call.
He's going to replay it. We heard the sound from the light.
Looked like a complete miss hit.
I thought it was miss hit too. Courtney actually lobbied to replay it.
Courtney actually trying to hit that ball behind her back. Looked like she was set up for a right-handed kill attempt down the left wall, but that ball got behind her.
11-4.
This is the second game here, Dave, of the first women's semifinal. Courtney losing game number 1, 21-8 to the current USHA four-wall national women's singles champion, Ashling Reilly, also the national doubles champion. She teamed up with the Hin.
12-4.
Score now is 12-4, second game. She won the first one 21-8, like you said. I like that little push right there. And there's an interesting folly reel inclusion.
Courtney gone mild, split.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
13-4.
The return of serve really rendering Courtney helpless at this point, Dave. Ashling teeing off on those weak returns right around the short line area and burying setups at will. There's another example. You see Aisling just camping out right there in the service box. Dave, she didn't move 6 inches to win that point. She basically hit that kill shot from exactly where she hit the serve. And now Courtney looks like she's pretty fatigued, Dave. She's
15-4.
Not moving too well right now.
Short. Appeal. I call it short. Both agree. Second serve.
Inexplicably there, Courtney going to that back wall, front wall return.
16-4.
Didn't appear that she needed that shot.
Score is 17-4 now.
17-4.
Courtney actually one of Aisling's idols growing up in Ireland. She heard a lot about Courtney, read a lot about Courtney, actually watched her on the webcast.
18-4. Short.
Has to be a great thrill for her, Dave, to be able to take Courtney down so convincingly also. You know how that can be, Dave. You've heard so much about someone, you finally get the opportunity to play them and then to actually beat them.
19-4.
Very satisfying. And Aisling now just firing on all cylinders. Courtney's been stuck on 4, Dave, since she tied the score at 4-all.
Here it is. This is game and match point.
That's 16 consecutive points for the Irish national champion, who will book her spot in the finals tomorrow to face the winner of Megan Michaelos and Samantha England. That match will be coming on immediately following this. And
there it
Courtney
is.
Puts that ball on the floor. So the first women's semifinal match, Dave, goes to Aisling Reilly, 21-8, 21-4 over California's Courtney Peixoto. And here's a replay of that last rally. Courtney with a high V return. Ashley could have shot this ball. She takes it back up top. Just barely misses the ceiling here, and this ball will come out a couple of feet off the back wall on the right side wall. Courtney looks to be in a good position, but just a